Hello, today is April the 3rd, and we'll talk about an interesting young architect who died rather young, at 45, if I'm not mistaken, the North American Douglas Darden, 1951, 1996. Joseph Douglas Darden, born on October 20th, he died on April 3rd, and today is April 3rd, but 2024, was an American architectural designer, artist, writer, and instructor. He's most notable for his collection of visionary architecture, published in his book, Condemned Building. In 1993, Darden died at the age of 44 in the spring of 1996 from leukemia. Very sad. This was the man, and I liked very much this picture. Uh, you know, the solitary architect. He was actually a very vocal architect and quite able to, uh, to confront the public, so to speak. I had a chance to uh, give a talk at the Architectural League in New York just after him, because we both won a prize at a competition, Rap Drafts. And I remember he didn't respect the 15 minutes that were allocated to all of us. He talked longer, and he had to be stopped at one moment because he had difficulties to stop himself. Anyway, um, yeah, Douglas Darden. I wonder if this picture was taken in the United States. Maybe not. Drawings. In fact, that's what he did. He did architectural drawings. I don't think he built anything. But his drawings are exquisite and provocative because of the narrative that we try to describe. They are, you know, I don't know very well how to describe them. It's a drone architecture. It's a paper architecture. But if he built, he probably would have built some interesting buildings. Douglas Darden. This kind of architecture is called in English speculative architecture. Uh, we need speculative architecture as well, and there were some important architects who created drawings that meant something for architecture. I'm thinking, among others, about Raymond Abraham. The lines of Douglas Darden, work and words. Unfortunately, it was very hard to find high resolution pictures of his work. Most of them were low resolution. Well, here is paraphrasing, so to speak, graphically, an important visionary architect of the 18th century. I think the man on the left is Michael Graves, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, the one on the right is Douglas Darden. He studied at Harvard and so on, so he was, well connected with good schools. Everything he did was drawn manually. There was no computer at the time in his work or his life. Condemned building, plans, sections, elevations, details, models, ideograms, script texts, and letters for 10 allegorical works of architecture. The idea of an allegorical architecture is not totally absent, but very close to be totally absent. But maybe it's worth contemplating the possibility of an allegorical architecture. Condemned Building, this is the book that he published. Well, his work shows that even if you don't build, if you love architecture, you can still contribute to architecture in your own way, even if you don't build. Sorry, I don't know what happened. This was the last image. No. This is some kind of a collage with him there, I don't know exactly the story behind it, but I kind of like this graphic fantasy. Okay, so let's now talk about, well, let's stop a little bit.